Hello, my name's Owen Cooper. It's the 10th of December 2013, 11:15 PM. I've just had an email off a bloke called Vic Cook from the Comedy Balloon in Manchester confirming that I've got my first ever gig on January the 22nd of 2014. So this is a documentary just about stand-up and documenting my approach to my first time doing it ever, as well as getting some tips from the experts.
My first stand-up gig was at the Frog and Bucket in Manchester, at Beat the Frog. It's a gong show where if you shit you get booted off.
And did you beat the Frog?
I won it.
Really?
Yeah.
And what, with a 5-minute set?
Five just solid minutes, yeah.
And that, are you sure that was your first?
Yes, of course it was.
First of all, the first stand-up gig, I used to sit down on a stool because I felt more nervous standing up and I thought people would see my legs shaking. So they'd put a stool for us on the stage and the compere was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Cook!" And so I was like, oh God. And I ran on, I was like, "Hey!" And then I sat down and the stool went through the bottom of the stage. So literally I just went, oh, and my legs went in the air and I had a guitar on. And so there was just like this clap and my legs were in the air. And actually it was a really good icebreaker. And then I had a really nice gig.
It's kind of like, for me, at the time, it was like ripping a plaster off. I felt like, right, I've got to do it quickly, let's get it in there and get out, kind of bish, bosh, bash. But what I did was, I went up, I just took my time, took my breathing right, and then I did thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really good reception. However, only after I knew it was because it was full of my friends and family, but they all loved it, and it was an amazing first experience for my first ever gig.
And my first ever gig was I was working in a kids camp in America, and I was like just a staff member, and there was a talent contest before the kids arrived, and I don't know why, I'd always wanted to do stand-up, and I just thought I'd do it, even though I didn't know any of these people very well, so I just did it, and it went alright. I won the talent contest, won $20.
Since I found out that I've got a gig in just over a month, I've pretty much just been writing new stuff, researching online things about stand-up, watching documentaries, watching old routines that I like, transcribing routines as well that I like, and sort of analysing how they work, how many laughs are in each routine, where they start and how they get to where they finish, and sort of the language that they use and what makes it funny. Today I just kind of wrote some ideas down and then just sort of let my mind wander and started writing stuff down. Here's some stuff that I wrote. Here's the thing I like. The good thing about dying is that people forget all about your flaws. At funerals they'll go, "Bruce was a great guy, you could talk to him about anything and he'd always listen." But then you go, "Do you remember when he got drunk and set that cat on fire for a laugh?" And then you look weird for mentioning it. I saw a porn film on the internet the other day called Fatty Gets Fucked by the Pizza Boy. It made me laugh that she was ordering a pizza, but of course she was. She's not going to get fucked in the gym. I was interested to see if she ate the pizza, so I skipped to the end and she didn't. Yeah. What is that? Stupid, isn't it? Is it all dog shit, this? Lying. I try to be an honest person, but it's hard not to lie sometimes. Things like, "Yes, you look nice. Thanks for the DVD, Uncle Richard. I love Top Gear. I'm not a virgin."
When you start working on the persona a bit, your jokes might not work as well because they go, "Why is that guy saying that?" Because if it doesn't fit, if, for example, I came on and looked a bit geeky and then started going, "Oh, I love shagging birds," they'd be like, "He doesn't."
I don't tend to think of a topic then write the material. I tend to think of the idea then write the joke. So I don't go, "Oh, I need a joke about chairs." I don't do that. I tend to like just think of something funny about chairs and go, "Oh, I'll write that." Right, I haven't got anything funny about chairs.
So really, yeah, I really think about what I want to talk about and what really strong opinions I've got on things. And then I will, you know, literally I might have like 30 ideas and I'll get rid of like 25 of them, and I might be left with like 5 that I've got that I can sort of run with, you know, and then out of those 5 there might be 1 left. So like it takes ages. But I think that there are some comedians, you can read their material and it's just genius. You're like, oh my God, you know, that's brilliant. But then the performance is always important as well, because the delivery is everything, isn't it? It's whether you believe, you know, that person or not, and what they're saying.
I've not updated. Is that in focus? Yeah. I hope I wasn't wearing this in the last video that I did, because I'll look like a right scratter. Yeah, I've not updated this for a while, but I've just been writing jokes over the Christmas period and stuff, and trying to sort of organise my set. It's quite hard actually. I didn't realise how structuring it was such a difficult thing to do, because it all needs to flow and most of it doesn't.
Yeah, structure is really important actually, but I think it's one of those things that you just sort of filter and mentally do. Like, you can look at something and think, oh, that doesn't quite fit there, and it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it, sort of fitting it all together. Yeah, but for me it isn't. It's something that doesn't always come right, and like sometimes I think you might have to do a few sets before you realise, all right, that bit doesn't go there, it needs to go here now.
Structure-wise, once you've got enough jokes, you'll work out what works well next to each other. Like, some jokes will fit well together because you'll be talking about like a certain thing, like your house or your friends. So you obviously group quite a lot of the jokes about your friends together, because then it looks like you've just gone one long joke about your friends, when in fact they're like 6 different routines. I think, like, as long as you've got the funniest bit at the end of the routine, so if you've got a routine with loads of punchlines, then I think generally try and have the best one at the end, so it doesn't, because I've had loads of times where you have your big punchline in the middle, then you keep going talking about that topic, and it's like, oh, we've already done the funny bit there, let's not, you need to like crescendo up to the big bit. And I guess really, probably your set needs to be similar, not in the sense that you want to start low, you want to start really well, and then, I mean, you want it all to be good, but I guess you need some kind of ending, like some sort of crescendo.
Hello, this is it. This is the day, this is what we've all been waiting for. This is the 22nd of January. My gig is tonight. I think I'll be on about 9:30. I'm not that nervous actually. I thought I'd be really nervous, but I think that'll kick in when I get there maybe. I feel ready. I feel like I'm ready to do it.
The nervous thing that I get is, when I get nervous, I get loads of nervous energy, so I'm just sort of like energetically throw everything at it.
Right.
So I was massive. I had the thickest northern accent, like Manchester accent. I was like, alright, how's it going?
Oh, right. So
I don't know why.
So you're saying you can kind of hide the nerves by acting more sort of over the top, kind of? Well, not over the top, but just more...
Yeah, heightened, more heightened, yeah.
Like I say, I was like 21 when I first started, so, you know, there was like the nerves, which were a huge thing, whereas now I don't really have them anymore, which is nice, because like now it's fun to do it, whereas before it was like I would feel sick all day and I'd be like, oh God, I've got this gig tonight, and like I'd be desperate to do it, but on the same hand like desperately nervous as well, you know, whereas now it's like a pleasure to, you know, to be on stage. The nerves aren't there anymore.
When people heckle, they heckle at the very most, well, they either heckle because they're steaming and they've just or they're in a situation where that they're talking to their friends and everyone else is talking, and it's not really a comedy club environment, it's more of a open mic, you know, music event, and there just happens to be a comedian there. So the best way to avoid that was just try and get the audience attention fixed on you by shouting. Audience participation, like what we said there, just getting them involved will grab their attention because they have to shout and scream.
It's a lifestyle choice, I think. I think you've got to, if you really want to, I'm not saying I'm doing really well, but if you really want to do well, I think you've got to be obsessed with it.
Right.
I think you've got to want to work at it all the time. You can't just go, alright, I'll do it.
So someone who's just starting out, I'd just say gig. Just gig as much as possible, like gig 4 or 5 times a week, like for 2 years. Just keep gigging and you'll eventually get good, I think, pretty much.
The things that you can do to build your confidence, really.
Just gigging. Gigging builds the confidence, getting better, comparing builds your confidence. So like, even if you don't think you're the sort of actor who would compare makes a big difference, because it forces you out of your comfort zone, and then when you go back to doing normal sets, you feel a lot more confident.
There's some risky bits in there. There's some bits that I think they won't like that. There's a bit in about parents that aren't together anymore. If your parents aren't together anymore, you probably get offended by it and call me a knobhead or a bald twat. That's always a good one. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but if I don't go down well, at least I've done it, and that is something to be proud of, right? This is what I'm wearing tonight. I think it's alright, isn't it? I don't know, I wore a hoodie like this once, and someone said, "Where's Nasha?" Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, I think confidence is key.
Right. Cause like,
if you can be confident, you don't have to be as funny.
Oh right, that's quite interesting.
Because you trick people into thinking that you're better than you are.
As long as you get a reaction, then the joke was a success. Definitely don't think because they didn't laugh, it was a bad joke.
You just got to like keep plugging and plugging and plugging, and then I think if you chip away hard enough, you can develop yourself, and just keep working on yourself, and then one day it won't feel so hard. It's because then you're just having fun with it, and it's work. But if you want it, then it doesn't feel like work.
So that's it, I've done it. I did it last night. I'm absolutely chuffed. It went down pretty well actually, very pleased. Considering last week there was no one there, no one really did that well, I was very happy with how I did. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot, right? Because I didn't get anyone to video it. But I got a little audio recording, so I'll play some of that and you can hear some of it. Some of the highs and some of the lows. What bothered me was my memory fucked me over quite a lot. Like if it wasn't for being able to have that sheet on the side with my set on it, I would have just forgotten completely what I was doing. Like I missed lines out that were pretty important to the bits. I stumbled on a couple of punchlines, and yeah, that was annoying. I'm looking forward to doing my next one, and I couldn't have asked for a better first gig really. I'm very pleased with it, and I'm glad that all my hard work's paid off. So thanks to everyone who contributed to the documentary, thanks to everyone who came to the gig last night, thanks to Carl who's proper helped me with my set and everything, and just thanks to you for watching. Take care. Oh, and here's some of my set by the way. I'll tell you what, isn't it embarrassing when you're texting your drug dealer and you accidentally put a kiss on the end? And then he comes around and fucks you. What's that all about? When it comes to, like when you die, people forget about all your flaws and all the weird things that you did. Like people will only say nice things about you at your funeral. They'll be like, oh, Bruce was a great guy, wasn't he? He gave to charity and he had that dog, didn't he? But then when I go, people think I'm the weird one when I go, do you remember when he got drunk and pissed in that homeless guy's mouth? Classic Bruce. Some people are lucky though that the last words are amazing, because I was reading about death the other day and I learned that a lot of times when a person dies, their body relaxes, their bowels loosen and they shit their pants. And that's why if I know I'm going to die, I'm not going to bother quoting like some classic literature, because if you're trying to create this profound moment by quoting Shakespeare or something as your last words, and then you shit your pants right after, it kind of ruins it. Like if Martin Luther King had done his speech about sleeping or whatever it was, and then just shit his pants, no one fucking remembers the speech. Classic stuff though. Speaking of changing the subject, why do people say they hate surprises? Because surely it depends what the surprise is. Like if your dad comes up to you and goes, "We've won the lottery," you wouldn't be like, "Dad, you know I hate surprises, get out of my room, I'm on the phone." Sorry, Sophie, this is my dad saying we've won the lottery. You guys are so lame. I mean, my parents are still together, which is brilliant, I'm not going to lie, it's really good. Said to my friend the other month, I was like, "Oh, what are you doing for Christmas, Stuart?" And he went, "I can't decide whether to spend it with my mum in Darlington or with my dad in London." "Why, what are you doing, Owen?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just going back to my one home because all my family still loves each other." He went pretty mental actually. Called me some right nasty names. I was doing a Ouija board with my mate the other day, right, and putting a finger on the glass and like started moving, and I just thought, if ghosts can move stuff, why don't they just pick up a pen? Because it'd be a lot quicker than waiting for some knobhead to pull a Ouija board. Like if I was a ghost, I would just pick up a pen and write, "Hey guys, it's Owen, just letting you know, I'm a ghost now, lol." P.S. boo. I was sat in bed last night eating carrots because someone said if you eat carrots, it helps improve your vision at night, like you can see a lot better. So I'm sat there and it's not working.
So I get up and I turn the light on, and it turns out I hadn't even been eating a carrot. I had been sucking a cock. Cheers, guys.